He's back, and we're back. Off the Ropes, episode number 30, fellas. Wow, it's a monumental episode here on Off the Ropes and a monumental SummerSlam to me, guys. That was one for the books. Hello, everyone. I'm Brett Swinny. Alongside of me is Dirt Sheet Brandon Ogden with the Netison hat. I like that hat, Brandon. And K.O. Collins. How's it going, guys?
Excellent. Hey, you know what I like is because we were talking a little pre-show, we can hear Brandon clearly, and you, Brett, are not breaking up, and you have a clear picture. So everything seems to be working good tonight. I like it.
Man, I'm feeling so far. Did you jinx this, Kyle? Because it may go away from here. We'll see.
I probably did jinx this.
I don't know. Well, my internet did get upgraded a while back, but I feel like maybe over the last several times we've done this, it should have been better. Is it just better than normal even?
Yeah, it's a lot better. See, even Brandon notices it because usually I can't see you. You're just pixelated.
Yeah, it was real shaky last week.
Wow. Okay. Well, I will say there are no kids here tonight, so maybe that's the key. Maybe they're taking up all my bandwidth.
There you go. Those dang kids.
Yeah, that they're on YouTube or whatever they're on, Roblox, whatever.
Derek Del Rio coming in hot.
Oh, is he already with us tonight? Oh, Derek? Let's see what we got. Man, that's probably true. I mean, pretty true. I mean, who would have thought? We talked about it a little bit last week that who would have thought we would be talking about Dominic Mysterio a lot on our shows. He's come a long way, guys. Overall, though, we talked about how we were looking forward to the card. Lived up to every expectation of me, and even I think we were a lot of us were spot on some of our picks here. I need to look down here. I didn't really I know I missed one. I think that was the
I
only
don't know if I missed any.
I missed one.
Hey, real quick, before we get into this, I got to give a shout out to my boy Colton, the Chap Sneed. He's watching the show. He's going to be watching for a few minutes. We have this thing at work anytime because he sits, his desk is kind of like behind me and to the left a little bit. So if we'll need anything, he'll say something and go, yeah. And we'll just have, all across the newsroom. So shout out to Colton.
All right. Got a little wrestling at the office. Never a bad thing at all, Kyle.
Listen, we had a very heated debate one morning because some jackwagon in there popped off and said wrestling was fake. And I said, oh, Bubba, it's scripted. It's not fake. I said, you go take a chop from Gunther and tell me it's fake.
There's a difference.
Anyway.
There's levels.
Well, I was overall pleased with the show. I think it delivered. You know, sometimes you hype up something. I thought every match delivered. The storylines are great. You know, there's some debate on the matches. And, again, it's not Will Ospreay out there. Let's just be honest with that. The matches aren't going to be like that. But they're good quality matches, and the stories make me interested in the matches. As long as I have an interest in the match, and we had several turns and twists, and, you know, the Judgment Day's got a lot going now. You've got this bloodline. They've been able to re-inject some of these groups. And now the original Judgment Day is now all out. If you remember, you know, Edge and Damian and Rhea were the original three, and they're no more. Now, I did notice something on Raw, and you guys may have noticed before we get into the card, they kind of kept their music. I don't know, in the purple and some of that. I don't know if they're going to eventually get that changed or.
Hey, Brett, I know normally we go to the other stuff and then the card. I feel like on this one we might need to go to the card first and then touch on Raw.
Yeah, we can.
The way Raw spun off and added some new stuff to it. I mean,
yeah, it did. We can do that. We can start off with the card. I'm just like, it's fresh in my mind. Like I thought, okay, because my thing was, okay, so what music are they going to come out to? That was the first thing I thought of, and I was like, that kind of disappointed. We'll talk. Well,
when the first music too hit, I didn't know if that was Judgment Day or if it was Damien, and then it was Damien, and then music came again, and it was Judgment Day. So yeah, the music thing was kind of. It threw us off a little bit.
Yeah. All right, so let's start down the card here. I think somebody was the professor the only one that got ever. He was bragging. I think he had Drew.
I thought I got every. I think I might have got all of them right.
You did. You had Drew McIntyre as well, didn't you? Yeah, I think you and the professor had the same picks here.
That was the swing match.
Yeah, okay. that was. And then we have a asterisk by Brandon's because he changed it at the last minute. You know,
not last minute. It was 2 days before the show. It was way before kickoff.
What happened was you went back and listened to the show and you decided, oh, these guys had a good argument.
No, your boy said some dope stuff on social media on Thursday.
Whose boy, Kyle? Whose boy is that? Who's the one that always has the Prime Energy drink?
No, we all like Logan Paul. We can't.
I don't drink the Prime Energy, but I drink the Prime Hydration.
Yeah, that's what I got.
I'm a fan of the hydration station.
But he said some stuff, and then when WWE came with it, he didn't handle it well, and so LA Knight was probably always going to win. Who knows? But I really feel like, hey, at that point, you gotta finish the story, as we say, and then you know he's got a baby on the way, and we'll get to that match. But,
you jinxed his microphone, Kyle.
I know.
It didn't mess up.
It's good now, but it's like, I don't know.
So they need to give you that Tyler Paper, Brandon. They need to really give you a raise. You deserve it anyway. So then you can go get you a quality microphone. For the show.
I was working on it, but I had some more car issues today, so that's playing.
I don't even. We can have a whole podcast on car issues that I have.
Yeah, let's not, because I haven't right now, and I don't want any. So keep it to yourself.
You got close to me. You got close to me today. I was close to your car, Kyle. So I'm sorry if anything happens. I'm sorry. It's probably my fault.
Let's not bring up any cars. Let's stay away from that, because 2 out of 3 on here got car issues. I don't want to be a part of that.
All right, the opening match. Liv Morgan over Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio. That's kind of funny the way that's written on here. But man, I thought, okay, so you know how Dominic lately has been costing people matches. He did the same thing, but this time he wasn't dumb this time. I guess he was playing dumb and then was smart and helped Liv win. Man, there's so much. I'm excited to see if they go back and tell and like kind of all these hints that were dropped, if all that was in play from way back whenever he was costing people matches. Was he helping her back then? I mean, or was he just like, I mean, because he did the same thing, guys. If you notice that he's done in other matches, he acted like it was a mistake, and then after the match, well, it wasn't. I'm excited with this Judgment Day story. And as big as the Bloodline story, I'm really intrigued by the Judgment Day story right now. The match overall was a really good match. I like that they had Rhea really selling the shoulder and like popping it back in. That made her look really, really strong. Like she'd pop it back in and then Liv would go back at it. Kind of selling the whole and making the injury thing, like bringing that back, recalling it. I like that. But man, she really like hit her arm on I was like, dang, if it wasn't already injured, you're going to re-injure it. I mean, she really hit that table with it that first time. But I like the match. I like the story. Everything in this was great to me. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was a great start to the show. And, you talked about Rhea's shoulder. That first time when she popped it back into place against the table, the best part probably was the reaction from McAfee, Cole, and Corey. I like how they showed that reaction. Like I like how they're doing with their cameras, with the introductions, with the cameras on Samantha, the cameras on the announce team. I really like the extra stuff they're giving us.
The stats too, Brendan. The little stat thing that they're popping up. I like that.
Yeah. I like the visualization and everything, the presentation they're giving us lately with all that. But the match I thought was great. Obviously Rhea's still not 100%, and then she kind of re-aggravated it, but she's still around. But the storytelling, because it was like something's gonna happen, and we never knew what side Dom was on until the end. There were a couple times he took a bullet for per se for Rhea, and then before eventually putting the dagger in her, and it was just great.
What about the chair?
After
the chair, Brandon, where he took the chair away to help her not get disqualified, and really sold it all, and then
Liv hit the Oblivion there, and I thought it was over then. I thought that was it. I thought it was like, hey, that's the end of the match, and then they did more, and and then from start to finish, and then after the finish, it was just I thought it was great all around.
That dirty two-timing son of a. He was. Listen, I echoed the same sentiments as Cole. Cole killed it on commentary with how he sold it. He even let Pat go. Pat was trying to hold back, and Cole was finally, no, do it, say it. And so Pat let loose. But to your point, Brandon, about the presentation, like that's something I pointed out too, is the presentation they've been doing. You can tell that they have a UFC influence in the production now, because it is UFC style, like walking from the back. They do that the same way UFC shows the fighters coming from the back. The commentary having cameras on them. Dana White and all that they started that. And to the stats coming up, like Kyle, while they're walking up to the ring.
We started that, right? Didn't we start that?
We perfected it. So
okay, that's what it was. Okay, I like our reaction. That's cool because I think it's a cool thing to have we saw that. It was kind of one of those things that we kind of just did, just because, and it really turned out cool to get some of the reactions. And I think that McAfee his reactions on everything are just like, whether he's dancing on the table for Jey Uso or whatever it is, you could leave the camera on him the whole time and just be entertained. So I do like that. And you talk about that with Netflix on the horizon, you're starting to see a little more edgy, like the language they've let go a little bit more for me. Now, Fox is they're going to bleep out everything.
Fox is the worst.
So thankfully we only have
Fox is only around for one more month. So
Yeah, we got one more
Well,
month of Fox.
Yeah,
So.
it's true.
yeah, they start September
but-
on CW and USA. So
Yeah, but the presentation has been the camera angles, the high cam, like everything they've been doing
What about
production
the
wise.
ref cam? The ref cam was interesting.
The ref cam was neat, although it did kind of cause a little mishap in the Seth and with Seth during the Drew and CM Punk match. But overall, as a production nerd, like being on the production side of things, I think like I am blown away by everything they're doing. Like it's like butter watching what's going on production wise with WWE. But anyway, back to the match. I think the match was very good. It was a hot start. I said it on Saturday. It was a hot start to the card. I mean, it did everything you needed it to do as an opening match. And to y'all's point, you didn't know what Dom was going to do. Dom was with Rhea, but even now looking back at it, at the time when he took the chair from Rhea, like, oh, he didn't want Rhea to get disqualified. But now looking back at it, no, he wanted Liv to win the title. And he knew if Rhea got disqualified, Liv wasn't going to win the title. So
Liv was already the champion. So
you're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Technically, I guess
You're
maybe
right.
she wanted Liv to actually win the title over Rhea instead of doing it like that.
To pin Rhea and to get that win over Rhea.
That's like her revenge tour, right? I mean, that's part of it because
Yep.
she technically didn't beat her for the title. Remember, she took Rhea out and never pinned her. She had to relinquish the title, so that was her completion of her revenge tour. Maybe there's more, but that was kind of at least one step of it.
But it caught me by complete surprise at the end because after now the way Dom did it, yeah, I mean but he could have even played that off as I slid it too far. I didn't mean to, whatever. He could have played that off and it would have been blown over. But for him,
because he's done it the last 3 months, Kyle.
Yeah,
with the other matches, that's kind of exactly what's happened. That's why I'm wondering if they come back and say he was doing it being dumb, Dominic Mysterio the whole time. Like he was actually being smart. He was just playing it off like he accidentally helped all these.
I'm not going to give Dom that much credit. He's still dirty Dom. He's still dumb Dom.
Well, I'm not giving him credit. I'm talking about the way that they produced and wrote the story. So like back when he helped all these other people, and he was trying to help Liv not win, but then he actually helped her win on accident. Do we think that could have been on purpose?
It could have been, but when at the end when he picked up, I said, "Oh no, don't do it, Dom!" And he did it, which I was jealous and unhappy at the same time. Like it was a weird emotion I was feeling then. But it's going to kick off a hot story between, and obviously we see later on what happened at SummerSlam and then on Raw how all that progressed. But it's going to set up something nice with Damian and Rhea going forward. So I thought it was an excellent way to kick off the show, though.
Yeah, and they could have led this card off with a lot of matches, but I like that they did this, and then it kind of left some. We were kind of all thinking about the whole Judgment Day thing, and then later we got another dose of it later down the line. They just didn't bang. They kind of spread it out. Next up on the card, Braun Breaker wins the Intercontinental Championship over Sami Zayn. We kind of all figured this was going to happen. It was cool. They had his dad and uncle were in the arena. They showed them. I thought that was a neat thing. Poor Scott looks a little rough. I guess he's off the juice now. I don't know. But it was cool that they were both there for this. I like Braun. I think I'm interested to see what they do with his character. I mean, he is they have made him look like a badass. Like that's his character. Like he's running folks over. I'm assuming we may not be done with this with the Dragunov. I think maybe they still have something with that left. But he needs a title. And I look at some of these people that win, and I'm wondering, like, there's some of these guys may hold it for a while. I mean, you don't want to take it off Braun for an early stage, but I enjoyed this match. Sami Zayn always is good in the ring with whoever, and I think he's done a good job of putting Braun over. And I think Sami is now going to be migrating over to another story here pretty soon, as that we'll talk about on Raw. He kind of hinted at maybe a reunion. But I enjoyed the match. I mean, like I said, all the matches were enjoyable to me, but I'm happy that they gave Braun the title. Was confused a little bit last pay-per-view why they didn't give it to him, but they just kind of, I guess they let Sammy get another good win, and now they're going to put Braun over. And so excited for him to I'm excited to see what they go or where they go from here with Braun.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brett. We all thought it should have happened the last pay-per-view also, but it did happen now, and this match was about what we expected. Solid match. But my one note I made was I hope they let Braun be that dominant champion for a while, hold this Intercontinental title, run through some people. And him and Sammy, they will have, I don't know, I guess that'll be the blow-off next Monday. They're doing 2 out of 3 falls. And so we'll, and I would prefer, they're going to go to 3 because they always do, but I would prefer Braun win the first 2. I prefer him to win one really quickly and then them have a decent little match after that and finish it off. I'd prefer Sammy not win one, but they always make it go to 3, so we know that's gonna happen. But yeah, I thought this was a just decent match overall, and but we got what we needed, and we'll see what, like you said, what we get from Braun going forward.
They got to the right outcome. My only criticism I have of this match is that to me it seemed too quick. Like it seemed like it was only like 5 minutes long. Like it wasn't a long match, which it makes sense. Yes, Braun is a badass. He should be destroying people like that. But that's not what you just told me, the last pay-per-view when he got beat in a longer match too. So you can't then do that, then turn around and have him beat the champion in 5 minutes. A champion that beat the longest reigning Intercontinental champion. So, it doesn't.
Who is now the world champion.
Right. So, and to beat him, to me, it just seemed a little quick. I mean, yes, it was the right decision. I'm good with the decision. I love Braun Breaker. I think he's awesome. And I'm with both of y'all. I think he's going to have a long title reign, as he should. And I'm excited to see what he does with it. I'm glad they gave it to him, but what can they do in the follow-up? It's always about the follow-up. What are they going to do after this? And hopefully Triple H has a plan, and I'm excited to see it happen. But yeah, it was a good match for what it was. I mean, but like I said, it was just a little short for me.
Yeah, I think we kind of all agreed if it had been this would have been the first match and it would have been short, it would have been a little different. But since they had, like I said, he just got beat, a month ago, to turn around and now all of a sudden he's that much better. He must have just went to the gym more. He went every day for 10 hours a day, Kyle. Maybe that's why Braun won. I don't know.
And it was just one spear. Like it wasn't it, or was it 2? I think it was just one spear, but like hasn't he kicked out of the spear in the last?
But he was going 18 miles an hour though, Kyle. I think that's what they said. Is that what they said?
So I guess last time he was going 15, it didn't hurt as bad.
Yeah, he worked out more, so he must have
turned up the speed.
Yeah, probably was able to fracture some ribs this time or something. I don't know, maybe.
Okay, well that makes sense. I'm on board then. It all makes sense.
All right, next match up, United States Championship match. Another new champion, LA Knight, finally. Yeah, gets the win over Logan Paul. And man, what a match. I'm happy for LA Knight. I'm hoping they didn't wait too long. I know he's not as hot probably as he was, a few months back. But hopefully this title, they'll let him, have it for a while, get some good defenses in, because I mean, he is such a good worker, and he's great on the mic. I mean, he's got all the skills that you want in a champion. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with it right here. I don't know if you guys have heard or seen where they might go. I guess maybe we'll find out on SmackDown on Friday. But I'm excited to see what they do. Logan Paul's great in the ring. I don't like him as a human being. I'm not a fan. But in the ring, he can go. It's incredible what he can do for the little time he's been wrestling. And just some of the moves, where he hops up on the rope and just, springboards off the rope and flip. I mean, some of those moves are those aren't like, and he doesn't do the little simple ones either. Like he goes all out and does some crazy stuff. But the thing I'm dislike about Logan Paul, I think he relies on the brass knucks too much. I'm not like, so he does. He's so good in the ring. Why can't he win with his moves and not have to go? I mean, you know, he's trying to cheat. He's a heel, whatever. But let's do something different with him. Like when they bring him back, I'm tired of the brass knucks. I think it's cool. Who was it? Oh, the same thing with MJF in the ring. That gets old after a while. Like, I mean, let's find another way to win. If he's going to cheat, let's hold the tights. Let's get some interference. Let's something. It's like every time, I'm like, oh, here come the brass knucks. You know, and just that's my only complaint, I think, with Logan Paul. He's so good in the ring. Let's get some other heel moves besides going to that. I feel like you go to the well too many times, and it's like okay, I'm done with that. So, but other than that, I think the match was good. Logan Paul always is going to put on a good match with whoever he's with, and they really sold the story. They were attacking each other at their house and all. I mean, it's been a build up for a while. It almost went too long. I wish they'd have maybe fought a few months ago, but I'm glad for LA Knight. He deserves it.
Yeah, and you mentioned the brass knucks, but it backfired on this time. Is LA Knight played possum on it, acted like he was hit, went down, acted like he was down, and then when Logan came back, tried another springboard, caught him with the BFT, and it was over. But you talk about the springboard backflip. I don't know if y'all saw, but on Instagram he posted and it showed he did like a not a layover, but it like faded into it. But it showed him working on it, like practicing it, just in a not the performance center, but in his home gym or wherever. But he was practicing it and then translating it into the SummerSlam, and it was really cool to see those two kind of play into each other. It showed that he didn't just do this. One thing, when you read and hear stuff about him from Triple H, Nick Khan, other people, is they talk about you think the Paul brothers, hey, they're gonna get everything handed to them, but from everything you read and hear about him, is he's really put in the work to try to make, he hasn't been one of these other celebrities just come in and, he's made longevity out of it, and he's really tried to be the best he can be. And he had he didn't defend his title much, but when he did, it was always entertaining. He had a good run as a United States champion. Now I'm looking forward to seeing what LA Knight does. And for LA Knight, he's a total opposite of Logan Paul. As Logan Paul just came in, LA Knight has grinded all sorts of companies, independents. I mean, he's been all sorts of characters, and I mean, always stemming off the
Drake.
Yeah, same type of character, different name. And for him, the journey he's been on to get to this now, you're happy to see that for him. But this really entertaining match, and it was kind of opposite. It's Cleveland, Logan Paul's hometown, and he didn't get the warm reception there, like because even MJF we talk about, he still gets that pop in Long Island. It kind of reverses Logan Paul. Like he's a great wrestling heel. He'll probably go away for a little bit. He's got a kid pretty close, and his brother's got a big boxing match. He'll probably go away for a little bit, but he'll be back. I would say he'll be back Royal Rumble at the latest, and we'll see who he fights at WrestleMania. And I'm excited to see what LA Knight does with this title, though, and see who he goes against next. And like you said, we should hopefully get a hint of that Friday on SmackDown, because we got Bash in Berlin in 3 weeks. So
yeah, so I want to ask you before Kyle goes. So I would hope if I dropped a banner in my hometown, I'd get a better reception than that. That was hilarious. That on it that LA Knight had painted over it, but I thought that was a cool deal on SmackDown.
Yeah, and also it was cool. I didn't mention, but him coming out with MGK was pretty cool. I mean, we had a couple little celebrity interactions, and MGK is also like, if he ever was in wrestling, he would be a heel, because I mean he's kind of easy not to like. So him and Logan Paul, they seem like they'd make a fun tag team one day down the line if we want to do that at WrestleMania. Do MGK and Logan Paul against the Miz and Jelly Roll. We can do that if we want.
Dude, the Jelly Roll thing, we didn't talk about that, but
we'll get to that.
Man, where was that in the card? I can't remember where that ended up being, but
right before the main event.
Yeah.
Was it? Man, he looked like he'd done that before. Like, that was impressive. All right, Kyle, what'd you think about this?
To your point about how far LA Knight's come, don't forget, this man was nearly out of WWE. I think had it not been for Vince McMahon getting in all this garbage, this doesn't happen. Like LA Knight's not here because if you remember when he was in NXT, he was excellent. The feud him and Cameron Grimes had over the $1 million belt, that was great. That was great television
Kyle,
weekly.
do you remember Maximum Male Models?
I'm getting to that. Don't spoil my fun now.
Oh my
I'm
God.
getting to that.
No, you just reminded me of it. I'm kind of putting that in the bank to not remember.
That's why
and they just showed up somewhere else. I don't know if y'all seen.
Oh, no?
They're in AEW now. Same characters and everything.
No.
They're called like the M&M Boys or something.
Oh my God.
Same names and everything, and they're like doing the same gimmick. Yeah, they're in AEW now.
Oh, jeez.
They just had a match with FTR the other night.
Oh, good. Well, let me guess, on Collision?
I think so. Collision and Rampage, one of them.
Well,
I don't watch Collision.
It was in Arlington,
well,
I saw.
Anyway, as I was trying to get to before y'all spoiled all my surprises that I was going.
Hey, I guess I'm dirt cheating now. I was dirt cheating on you. Sorry.
So anyway, he did great on NXT. Then he got called up. Then Vince wanted to ruin everything and turned him into Max Dupree. So he tried to have a Maximum Male Model thing. That was terrible. But then the whole stuff with Vince happens. Triple H takes over and resurrects his career. He's back to LA Knight. LA Knight got over on his own with the Yeah movement. Daniel Bryan had the Yes movement. LA Knight has the Yeah movement.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, anyway, he's doing the best work that he's been doing. Huge fan of LA Knight. Logan Paul, I'm with you, Brett. He's a trash human being, but he's excellent in the ring. And I think I saw that video you were talking about, Brandon, where he had that overlay of him working on it in the gym and then fading into what he did in the ring. And it's just like, yeah, this dude is not out here just to earn a paycheck and get some, like, he enjoys what he's doing. He wants to be good at it. He's not going to go out there and half-ass it. And we've seen that with all the celebrities that have been coming in lately. Bad Bunny got in there and did a Bunny Destroyer, and on, what was it, on Morrison, Johnny TV, or whoever he's being called now. But
McAfee even was entertaining when he did his matches.
Exactly, and they're good when they come into the ring. So I like to see him taking it serious and really putting in work on the craft. The match was good. It was everything. I mean, you could tell these two don't like each other. They don't get along and per storyline. And it was an excellent match, and I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what LA Knight does with it, and I'm excited to see Logan Paul go away for a little bit. And Logan's one of those people I could take in doses. I don't need him around all the time. Give me 4 or 5 months with Logan. I'm good for the rest of the year. He can go away.
I kind of am on the lines of, he kind of had the United States title, and he only had 2 defenses. The whole that
was his third one, I think.
Yeah, he's not around enough to hold the title for that. That's what kind of got me. He shows up every once in a while, and that makes the U.S. title kind of does it mean anything? And so I'm glad that it'll be. LA Knight's going to defend it. He's going to have matches, and it'll be good that title gets some actual use, because Logan Paul basically was just using it to show up places for publicity and all that stuff is basically what they were using it for, I feel like. And now it'll be kind of a working man's title for the time being. So, but it'll be interesting to see where they go with LA Knight. I hope they give him some good feuds and some good storylines, because this one is with Logan Paul has been really good. They really got personal, and it they went at each other. So now that he's gone, we'll see where LA Knight goes. I hope they do something with him.
Who does he feud with?
I don't know. It's being
Brandon.
I guess maybe we'll find out on Friday. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested to see. I'm trying to think. I mean, you could do the Waller and Theory split.
I see Kyle's
reaction. I'm just trying to think.
What about Mello?
Okay, yeah, I like that. No, oh yeah, because they've already hinted at that. Yeah, no, I like that. Good. Yeah, I was like,
but Mello and Andrade are in a thing right now. So maybe do a triple threat: Berlin, Andrade, Mello, and LA Knight.
Yeah.
I think Mello and LA Knight need to.
I like that.
Needs to be
I'm ready for. I'm ready for Austin Theory and Grayson Waller to disband, and
Well, that's
they
what I'm
need
saying.
to,
They're eventually going to split. So, like, if you wanted to bash at Berlin, you could do a LA Knight against one of them, and then let Melo and Andrade finish theirs off, and then do Melo, like, then start feuding up Melo and LA Knight again, and do that at like a Bad Blood, and like.
I
really
like
get that
here's what I like there. I like Grayson Waller going after it, and Austin Theory does something and messes and accidentally or the other way around. Something happens, one costs the other one. Like
and then you can have Bad Blood, and like just
yeah.
It seems like they're breaking up tag teams. We got hints of a New Day split happening. We got
But
obviously
what about
Grayson
New
and
Day
Theory
with
aren't gonna-
Odyssey Jones?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But and then you have then Miz and R-Truth had a weird interaction too at the end of their match. So like they're hinting at a lot of breakups of these tag teams. So I mean, which brings up another point: is what's the point of the tag team titles? But that's another story for another day.
Like, one of the tag teams right now is injured, so
Is he legit injured or just storyline?
I don't know how long, but he's injured. So we'll talk about that later too.
He's a bad man. He can fight people injured.
But hey, I feel like they're gonna work their way around that with some bloodline rules. So
yeah, just hand it off to One Eye.
Yeah.
You know,
Kyle's
favorite.
Get him out of there.
That's Kyle's favorite.
Oh,
all right, next up, WWE Women's Championship. Nia Jax over Bayley. Kind of what I figured in this match. We had a little Tiffy time tease. Now she's got that new case. Now, whenever she handed the new case to her, I'm like, well, she ain't cashing in. She's hanging on to that little pretty pink case for a while. Did come out, kind of caused a distraction by coming to the ring, and Nia Jax got the win. This one right here is a story that this is going to be kind of one of those long plays. I think we talked about I used an example. I think that was one I used for the crock pot example where you like let it simmer. Like this one's going to be one of those, okay, when's it going to happen? Because eventually, Tiffany Stratton, this is going to turn her into a huge face. Like she's already let people like her more than Nia Jax. Eventually, she's going to cash in and it's going to be a huge pop whenever this happens. I hope they don't wait too long. I hope they let it, there's a difference in, I don't want to just waste the case, but also like waiting too long, I think, it kind of makes everybody get tired of waiting. And it's one of those things after you wait for something for so long, it kind of loses its, newness. So I like this. I don't know when it is that happens, but I think maybe it's, several months down the line, she's kind of stays with Nia Jackson and some point she cashes that thing in on her and the crowd goes crazy. And now Tiffy time is the face, and then maybe they feud back and forth for a little bit.
Yeah, and this was it wasn't a bad match, but it's probably just the way this card was probably the worst match on the card, and it was still decent. But what was better about this was the storytelling, but from someone that wasn't even in the match. Tiffany told a great story, just teasing the cash in, then right there at the end of the match, and then after the match, just how she kind of handles things. She's very charismatic, and she's come a long way quickly too. And the one thing that Bailey's talked about a lot is Nia's clumsiness, and
they use that too. Like she said that, and it was like, oh,
right.
Wow.
And but you see it in the match, and two, it's like some of the things that happens. Like, was this Nia's fault or is it Bailey's fault? Like, because there was a Bailey to Bailey that was super awkward, and I know, like it's got to be hard to Bailey to Bailey. But then Bailey come back later with a really impressive power slam on Nia. Like, so there were some moments where they had to, but it was a solid match. But on this card, it was in the middle of the card where it should have been. But I liked how they kept us interested with the Tiffany stuff, and that's, without that, this match is probably like, but Tiffany, who's not even in the match, made the match.
Yeah, it was the worst match on the card, but not to say that it was a bad match. Like it wasn't bad, but it was definitely the worst on this card.
No bathroom break match, Kyle?
Well, I did get up and walk around a little bit in this.
But it was
match,
hard to with Tiffany because you didn't know what Tiffany was going to do.
But once I heard her music hit, I was locked in. I was like, okay, we're doing something. But the match was decent, like you said, Brandon. Like the most impressive thing, especially Bayley with her recent knee injuries, to be able to get Nia Jax up in the corner and walk with her in a powerbomb position to the middle of the ring, like that is impressive. And
Could you have done that, Kyle?
Nope, sure couldn't have. I would have been annihilated. But for Bayley to do that was that got a big pop out of me watching the match. So it was a decent match. It did its thing, but yeah, like y'all said, the story was Tiffany. I think I could see Tiffany cashing in around Rumble time. Maybe I'm not maybe at the Rumble. I don't know exactly when, but I could see around that time maybe. And Brandon, I was listening to another podcast today, and you know how you said we don't have a pay-per-view in December and
September.
What was it?
September.
We also don't have one in January. The Royal Rumble's in February this year.
Yeah.
So
so
that would be 2 months without one.
Since they got rid of TLC, we've had that long gap between Survivor Series and Rumble. That's even longer.
Yeah, so they have to do something. But that's side note. They got to do something in December and January. Maybe we have a day one, a New Year's Revolution or something.
TLC.
Yeah, that would be.
But the match was good. It did its job. The story was Tiffy, and excited to see what she does. You said it too. When Brendan said it, when she first came into NXT, like her gimmick in NXT, like the daddy's girl, I got my daddy's credit card, all this stuff, that it didn't vibe for me. But now she's not using her dad, it's her own credit card. It's her own stuff. Like she's doing it on her own.
Her Ludwig.
Yeah, Ludwig. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I think it's going to be a good story that they tell with. Now, where does Bayley go from here?
Yeah, that was going to be my next question for you guys. Where does Bayley go? Like,
well, they'll probably have a rematch. One, you think, or
probably, yeah, maybe at Berlin.
Yeah, but like that's the only thing is like I want Tiffany to hold on this, but who all can face Nia to, and then
Piper Niven.
I mean, it might have to be because, obviously, we'd love to see Jade against her, but I think Jade's too green to face Nia right now. And against Nia, we want Jade to win and have the title. So it's like we're not ready for that yet. So it's like, I guess you could do Naomi, but do we believe that? There's
a lot of women's trios fighting it out right now. Maybe Shayna.
They're all on Raw. Yeah, they're all on Raw. Well, we decided.
Do we know? Does it matter anymore?
It does because the Randy thing coming over to Monday to fight Gunther makes sense.
What about it does? But what about Theory and Waller? They were on. They had
but they announced that.
Well, no, but they can always do that. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But in the past, we've never gotten any explanation. At least they're explaining why they're doing it. So it's not like it's just random. This guy's showing up because he feels like he's in Cleveland on a Friday night and wants to hop in on SmackDown.
Well, then Drew quit Raw, went to SmackDown, and now he's back on Raw. They've at least. Well, he quit, so I guess that makes him a free agent at that point. I don't know. All the people I could see going to his line are all Raw, and then one of them is a huge story.
Hey, I've got a random question while we're talking about this. Do you guys think that we have a draft before the Netflix changeover, or do they wait till after normal?
They're gonna wait because they're gonna do it after Mania. There's no point doing it before Mania.
Because you got to think that they're gonna want certain There's no way they don't want Roman Reigns on Netflix, right? I mean,
but they can get him after Mania.
I know. I'm just wondering, that kind of stuff, it's gonna change things big time. I mean, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens because. Well, you see a bunch of folks. Do they have a free agent period where everybody's a free agent until they resign? And I don't know. It could be interesting to see who shows up on Netflix. I'm interested to see also where that ends up falling because I've heard they may not leave it on Mondays. It may float to another night. So they won't.
I think it stays on Mondays.
Well, I think it will at first because it's in January. But I think as we get close to the next football season, they could end up shifting.
It's just one of those things. Like, it would be weird with Raw not on Monday. It's just like, how long has it been on Monday night? As long as I can remember.
Forever, right?
Well,
I mean,
after Rumble, they Achilles and they start going back to Sunday too. So,
it'll be interesting.
which I like them on Saturday.
Next up, we have the special guest referee Seth Rollins in the Drew McIntyre CM Punk match. Drew McIntyre wins. That was our deciding pick on our pick'em for the card. It's shout out to Kyle, if you didn't hear earlier. Him and the Professor, our buddy, they tied. They're on the same wavelength. That's that's scary, but I'm not sure. I think Kyle.
I don't know if we're buddy, but we're on the same wavelength.
I know Kyle called in a special favor to his uncle Kevin to get these results so he can know who was going to win these matches. He had that special wavelength. Not
Trips. Emailed me the card, so I knew.
Okay. So you got this. Okay, this was a coin flip match. I think I could have gone either way. My thinking was CM Punk's first match back. But I think this is going to spin into a lot more. We've got. Now they couldn't keep his cool. I think it was a cool story. He would have won the match, but he let his emotions get to him. The bracelet, he had to go back and get that. Ended up taking out Seth, and then got distracted and let Drew get the win. These three could wrestle like for the next 2 or 3 months at least here. They've got. They don't like each other. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a triple threat thrown in here somewhere between the three of them. Kyle's disagreeing with me at some point. I'm not saying next, but I think there could be a triple threat at some point down the line. But I think CM Punk is probably going to go after Seth next. They're gonna go next, and then maybe Drew gets involved in the match or something, and then they end up going triple threat. I don't know. They've got a lot of ways they can go with it. So I'm excited about this feud. Another one that was told really well. CM Punk did an excellent job of being able to tell a story while he was injured. You think about how many wrestlers can be out as long as he was, and they kept the story hot the whole time. Because when he returned, that was one of the first things that Drew McIntyre and Seth were both not happy. They showed it on camera, and they turned that into what was that? November, right? When he came back.
Survivor Series.
Yeah, so all the way, and we're now in August, and it's still something, which is impressive. And he's wrestled a total of 1 match, and that was this one. So it just shows how valuable he is, even when he doesn't have to wrestle every week to be to tell stories, to be involved in the show. We want to see him wrestle, and I'm glad he made it through the match. It looked like it was a good match. It solid match. I was impressed. He didn't look like he had any limitations really, and it was good. And he came out healthy, it seems like. So that's beneficial. I'm excited to see where this goes. There's lots of ways they can go with it. I'm sure we all have different opinions. We may agree on some, but I'm excited. Whoever they mix matching these three, they can all go, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, Brett, I agree with you about I thought I picked Punk too because his first one-on-one match back in WWE, I just assumed he would win it. But it made sense Drew winning too, and I like the story they told and continue to tell with this is great. Seth now adds another layer. He was always a part of it, but now he really adds another layer to it. And in this match, they really told that, just because there was way more dissension between Seth and Punk in this match than Seth and Drew, but it played in. Seth had the ridiculous referee outfit like we knew he would. I love the callback to how they teased the Shawn Michaels Undertaker Bret Hart thing, and they even showed a clip. I don't remember if they showed it on SummerSlam or Raw, but they actually showed a clip of the whole chair shot and kind of comparing them. So I thought that was really cool how they teased it in the match and then they actually referred to it and it's a very similar situation, 20 almost 30 years later, but
even the gear, Brandon. Even the gear.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. But I thought it was a really fun match. And then Drew still got away with the bracelet. He still has the bracelet. Punk let that cost him the match. And Drew still has it, and we'll obviously get this later when we talk on Raw, but we may not be seeing Seth anytime soon. We'll see. He had a bloody incident the other night, so we'll see. He may have a different opponent coming up before he gets to face CM Punk. So we might get Punk and Drew again, and then
that's why I said.
But we'll talk about that later. But but I enjoyed this match. This was, I think we all, I don't know if it was unanimous, but most of us said this was the match we were most looking forward to, and it delivered as a match and as just storytelling between three phenomenal performers.
So I have a question here before Kyle goes. Do y'all think we see AJ Lee at some point? They keep referring to her on the bracelet.
Yeah, they talked about her a lot. I would like to. I would have thought we already would have by now, because at one time when Punk was out, I thought maybe AJ would come. I guess it was Money in the Bank. I always thought it might be AJ that comes across back into her, and so I always thought we would have saw her by now. The fact that we haven't yet, I don't know if we will, but I would like to. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen her.
Well, they keep that bracelet. I mean, they keep making a reference to that who's on there. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So at some point, when does she get ticked off that her bracelets? I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested in that. Kyle, what do you think about this match here?
I enjoyed it. I'm going to be honest. Got a little criticisms of this one. I don't think it was a great match. I think it was excellent storytelling. I don't think it was a great match. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it was CM Punk's first match in so long. Like, I don't think you throw him into the deep end and unleash everything he can do. Because, and I mentioned this on the preview show, like, I just want to see him be healthy out of a match. Like, it seems like almost every time he gets in the ring here lately, he gets hurt. So I just wanted to see him get out of this match healthy. And he did. And he didn't look bad. It's not to say it was a bad match, but I definitely think there's more that these two can tell in the ring than what we saw at SummerSlam. My other criticism is I think Seth took away from this match. And the reason I'm saying that is because this is between Drew and CM Punk. Seth got thrown into this because he had nothing else to do on the card. And then Seth went out there and made it about himself when he's in the ring. When they're fighting on the outside, he's in the ring getting everybody to sing. Like, the match isn't about you. Like, it's not about you. It's this moment's not. And then he gets mad at CM Punk when he's like, "Let's talk about something you want to talk. Let's talk about you." But you do the same thing. Like, you made the match about you when it had nothing to do with you. So I didn't care for that, because in this feud, it's a hot feud between two guys. You don't need to add a third one in there just because. Like, I think this feud would be better without him in it, because Seth has a story with both those guys separately. We don't need to tell it all at once. Let's let this thing play out. Last criticism I have is they made CM Punk look like an idiot. Like, you have Drew in a GTS ready to win this match, and you look and Seth is wearing a bracelet. Okay, how about we hit the GTS, get the pin, then we worry about the bracelet. You drop Drew to worry about the damn bracelet. Like, what are we doing? But to that point, it goes into the storyline, because Drew looked just as stupid at WrestleMania. So, I mean,
he's obsessed, Kyle. He's obsessed with the bracelet, and that cost him the match. That's what they told him. The same way Drew was obsessed with CM Punk, and it cost him the title. So that's what I'm saying. It was excellent storytelling, but it also made CM Punk look like an idiot. Like, oh, I can win the match. Oh, wait, this little $5 bracelet's on your wrist. How'd that get there? Let me forget everything I'm doing in this ring. Like, anyway, but overall, like I said, the match was good. I think they have more to tell and more to do, and I think we get a rematch between Drew and CM Punk. If not at Berlin, for sure at Bad Blood. But I think we get it at Berlin again. Man, but I'm excited about this. I think they're trying to extend it, Kyle. This is probably what they're trying to do, and so. But yeah, it does. It's like, hey. It's like, I dropped my $5 bill, but I've got $1,000 up there. Let me stop and just throw this $1,000 away, and let me get that $5 bill and hope that $1,000 is there.
and we've talked about this before. That's what bothers me so much when somebody's on the top rope about to do a move and somebody's music hits or something. They stop and look at the music. Like, just do your move, bro. Like, what are you doing? Or when somebody steps up on the apron, okay, jump off and do your move. Like that. Why is that? I don't understand. It blows my mind every time.
Man, that's all you
I'm
gotta
off
do.
my soapbox.
That's all you gotta do. Distraction, man. These wrestlers can't focus. They're not real focused. They can't.
I've got my mom into wrestling now recently. She's starting to watch some stuff with me. Like Monday we watched Raw. Last Friday we watched SmackDown. Like I'm getting her into wrestling. But so my dad will be watching with us sometimes, and he'll get so frustrated because he'll be like, "See, why can't they just move?" Because like when somebody's getting up on the top rope and they're just kind of staggered
Stand there
like,
and catch them.
Just move. I'm like, Dad, it's part of the story. He's like, I know, but it's dumb. I'm like, I get it.
That's funny. That's funny. All right. Next up, we've got the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther over Damian Priest to win the title. Made Damian Priest faint, pass out on a submission move there. I guess the biggest story was the way the match went as Priest hit his moves south of heaven, put him down, scooted him over toward the rope, which that stuff kind of bothers me a little bit, Kyle. You're talking about your thing that bothers me. So let's just scoot him over by the rope.
Damian didn't scoot him. Gunther rolled over there.
You know, but that's just like it looks bad. It's like, hey, let me just so and then we knew it was coming. We all kind of predicted. I think we all thought it was either going to be Finn or Dominic that turned. How about both in the same night? Finn puts the foot up on the rope of Gunther, and Damian he didn't see it originally. So then they show the replay in the arena, which is just another distraction. Kyle, do you go watch the replay and you're at a football game? Do you go up and stand and watch the foot, and then the play's going to start without you? I guess.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, this isn't the first time they've shown a replay in the arena. Like, and all of a sudden he just gets so starstruck by it. Like, you can't. I mean, it's anyway.
Then he loses his attention, and then obviously loses the match. Gunther puts him out, and wow, this Judgment Day, man! You guys remember? We could probably go back and look at and listen to old shows where we just kind of got tired of the Judgment Day. It was kind of old. We thought it was at first it was okay, and then it kind of got, and we were like, man, we're done with this. And look where it's gone now. I mean, I think this is the difference in the new WWE regime versus the old. They've been able to keep some things alive, adding new members, taking people off, in multiple, not just this, but with the bloodline as well, to keep these really hot angles hot. I mean, even when they're getting a little bit, warm there for a while, just one thing and it reignites. Now they hit two. We've got a brand new Judgment Day. We got Liv in. I guess Carlito is now officially in. It looks like maybe.
That actually surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, and Finn is now. I guess he's in charge. I'm assuming, kind of.
I think Liv's in charge.
Judgment Day has no leaders. Judgment Day.
It didn't. Yeah. It didn't have a leader, but
I think Liv's in charge.
Well, I mean, she could be. I don't know, but either case, like we talked about earlier, the original Judgment Day is now. There's none of the original members. It was originally Edge, Priest, and Rhea. Now they're all gone and been replaced. Finn's kind of been the catalyst of all this. He was the original one that ended up kicking Edge out, and now he's limited to Priest and Rhea. So he's basically come in and kind of worked his way in, and now that's why I kind of feel like he's in charge. But we'll see kind of if they continue to be no one's a leader. But a lot of things that Finn pointed out were correct. Like when Damian got the title, guys, it shifted. Like he kind of took control and started bossing around a little bit.
That's how it should be, right? If you're the champion.
But that's not how they were originally agreed for it to be. So it's got push points both ways, which I like that. I mean, there's Finn's got a little. I'm interested to hear an explanation.
What's that?
What'd you say, Brandon? Cut out.
Like Finn said, he would have been the champion if not for Damien.
Yeah.
Oh, so he says, but
yeah. And so, man, it's got a lot. I'm interested. I want to hear them give some explanation because I want to see how far back they're going to go with when this stuff started to turn. Because I feel like going back now, we all saw the hotel key that Finn took. There was the times he pointed him toward Liv. Like, how much was all this? Was this Liv and Finn's plan the whole time? Was Dom involved, or he just kind of all of a sudden has now jumped on board? I'm interested to see if they tell any of that. That's what intrigues me. Like, if there was some other things that they go back and show how we got here, or if it was just because I want to see that. I wish that if they don't do that, I'll be a little disappointed because I feel like this has been kind of breadcrumbs dropping. We've talked a little bit about some of those this whole time. So I'm interested to see where it goes. Now we got, I guess we talked about the music thing and we'll get to Raw in a minute, but like we're going to have Rhea kind of teaming up with Priest. Are they going to be a group? Or are they just both individuals? We'll see how that goes. I don't know, but this match was hard hitting. It was good. I enjoyed it. I was glad that looks like for the most part, and you guys might have seen something, but I thought Priest did a good job. I mean, he's had some criticism over the last few matches. He's had some oopses, but I thought this was a hard hitting, really solid match. I'm glad that Gunther has this. We'll see. I think he's going to have this one for a while, fellas, and I don't know. We'll see who they go with next with him. I don't know. You guys may have some ideas. I don't know where they're going to go yet, but I'm excited to see where they go with Gunther. And
have you watched Raw?
Yeah.
You know where they're going next with Gunther.
Yeah, they said his next match.
Well,
Randy Orton.
Yeah. Okay. Randy Orton. It's a squash match, Kyle.
Yeah, that'll be one match. Yeah.
I'm looking long term. They're not gonna. I'm looking like a really good. Like they're back telling this. I do like that. I like the fact that they're they've recalled this to give him a match. But I want to see so now he's got is I guess Kaiser's with him still. I don't really know what he's even there. Is he just a lackey now? I don't know. Sometimes he's there and sometimes he isn't. So. I was kind of hoping they would add somebody. Tiffy time?
He gets all of Tiffy's time.
Well, yeah,
But I mean, he came out and announced him there night, and then he had that match with Sheamus. So.
Yeah, I guess so. That's another deal with when we get to Raw, I'll talk about that. The Pete Dunne thing's kind of weird. Maybe he joins them. I don't know. But yeah, I'll be interested to see where they go long term feud with Gunther. I know this short term, but where they go with him because. I mean, they had Priest turning face now. So you got Gunther, a heel dominant guy. I want to see who they put up against him because Gunther can put on some good matches. Those chops are just, whew, man, that would just kill me. I just one chop, just tap me out right there. I'm good. But yeah, the Randy Orton thing will be interesting. I'm thinking long term.
Yeah, before this match, I liked how they did the locker room tease with Finn and Damien. Gave you a little, okay, could something happen? We always thought, but I like how they teased it before the match. And then, before Finn even comes out, we have a good, hard-hitting match, like you said. And you talk about Gunther's chops, but he was the one with his chest bleeding. Damien was laying some stuff in there too, so. I thought it was just before Finn even comes out. It's a good, brutal match and just two big guys. Now it was fun, but there were a lot of flaws in this match, and you touched on a lot of them. And I mean, because even without Finn putting Gunther's foot on the ropes, he's he's hanging outside the ring. He's already in the rope break. He didn't need to have his foot on the ropes. His foot was under the ropes. That's an automatic rope break. So there were a lot of flaws in this match.
But the ref didn't see that, Brandon. The ref didn't see it.
Yeah. But like we said, with a lot of Priest matches, there has been I like Priest too, but a lot of his matches have, and there were a lot of things to nitpick about this match, but we got the story that we wanted from it, and we got Gunther. I mean, we got Gunther as the world champion, and we've been waiting for that. And like you said, I'm excited to see where that goes. We know he's getting Orton, but what's he do after that? Who's he face? And he's going to have the title at least to lose his WrestleMania opponent. That'll be fun to see over the next 7-8 months.
Could be whoever wins the Rumble, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it probably will be, but who is that? Like,
Yeah.
is it someone obvious, or is it someone out of No, we can't say out of nowhere because that's Randy Orton. We're already getting that. So, and he didn't want to RKO Gunther out of nowhere. He wants them to see it coming. He said.
Yeah.
That was
he
funny.
also called Gunther German when he's from Austria. So
He said his home
It's like your hometown. I mean, it is close.
Yeah, he says home country.
It is close, but
so is he really? Maybe he's true. He's really from Germany, but his character is from Austria. I don't know. Sometimes they, they had, what was it? Rusev that time they had him as he was from 2 different countries. One they had him from I think Russia at one time, and then he went to somewhere else, Belgium.
Kofi's been from like 18 different countries.
Kofi Kingston was he with Jamaica? Wasn't he Jamaica or something for a while?
Yeah, Kingston, Jamaica. It's Kofi Kingston. The match was good. I thought it was. Yes, there was a couple of things that could have been done differently. It could have been, a little better. I disagree with Billy. Again, don't think he had to roll him over there. I think Gunther rolled over there himself. Don't think Damian pushed him over there.
Look, Billy came back and the professor's not even here now. Welcome back, Billy.
Oh, welcome back, Billy. Also, going back to the Logan Paul LA Knight match, Logan's foot was under the rope too when he got pinned because Logan pinned him so close to LA pinned him so close to the rope. Logan's foot's technically under there. But my question is, when are we getting Damian's going to want a rematch against Gunther, right? So when's that going to happen? If we got Gunther and Randy at Berlin, do we get Damian and Gunther rematch at Bad Blood? And then I
think Bad Blood's got to be Finn, right? I mean, Finn.
Yeah, I
Damian.
feel like Bad Blood's Damian's gonna have to be something else. So
I don't know. Maybe he's so ticked off. Maybe he's ticked off at Finn. He kind of he goes after Finn for a while before he gets maybe he waits for his rematch till later. I don't know how he can get over that at this point.
You're not guaranteed rematches anymore. So
I am. I'm watching it. But yeah, I think it was a good match. It was entertaining. Like you said, I figured Damian's chest would be the one that would be split open, not Gunther's chest. And Gunther, savage that he is, he looked. Oh, okay. Let me just wipe this all on myself. And yeah, that's good. I like bleeding my own blood. Appreciate you. But yeah, I think here we go. They called them the Terror Twins on Raw. So maybe at Berlin we get we get that at Berlin, and then you could do Damian and Finn at Bad Blood, and go from there. But I think
Finn Liv Rhea Priest. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
The mixed tags for sure happening for sure.
It's a good idea there, Billy. We like that. Maybe he should replace the professor on this show. He's got some good ideas. All right. Our main event, guys, is here. Cody Rhodes over Solo Sikoa, but the match was kind of overshadowed by the end, guys. I think we all thought it would happen. We hoped it would happen, and it did happen. The music hit, and I was like, oh, snap. Man, what a pop in the arena. To be at that stadium there would have been awesome. Like, I got up and I put my one in the air. I was like, my tribal chief is back. And then he comes out in the OTC. And first I started looking at it and I was like, OTC, what is that? And I was like, wait, original tribal chief. I was like, oh, that's pretty creative there. And this is kind of a long-term deal from watching wrestling over the years, and this even before it predates the show. They tried so hard to get Roman as a face over for years and years and years, and he would get booed. And And that was one of the things I always thought they're going to have to turn him heel. Like, and they finally got the reaction that they've been trying to get for the last 10 years with Roman Reigns, where they're not shoving him down your throat. He went heel, and now he's returned as this so over face. And I'm so excited to see what they do with this. I mean, obviously, we're going to have some reunions of some old Bloodline members come back and have a big Survivor Series match. Most likely is where this is headed. But I like the way they told the story too. You had Cody was like, "Oh crap, Roman's coming back," and then he sells it like, and then Roman goes and spears Solo, and he's like, and he kind of gives him the nod, like, get the respect nod, and leaves the ring. I mean, I thought they did a great job of telling it. We talked a little bit about Jacob Fatu. I hope he's not injured out long term. If he sold it, if it's a fake injury and he sold it like $1 million because they helped him out of the arena. I've read where that was going to sell injury anyway because to keep him and Roman separate, which is smart. You don't want him. He's the hottest thing right now to me in the new bloodline is Jacob Fatu. That guy is incredible in the ring. He's doing some crazy stuff. I mean, he's just really good in the ring. He's the best worker of the four. Except for, I mean, Tonga Loa is Kyle's favorite, but you know. I really hope he's not out long term and hope it doesn't affect the story too much. But man, it is good to have our tribal chief back, guys. I'm excited for Friday Night SmackDown. They've already announced he's gonna be there, and what he's gonna say, man, that place is gonna explode when he comes out. I mean, it's gonna be awesome. But the match itself, I think it was a good, solid match. I mean, we kind of all were. I was anticipating just when is something gonna happen because you knew it was, and you had the interference. Then you had Randy Orton and Kevin Owens come out. Uncle Kevin came out, Colin, and took care of business. I guess. On a serious note, did anybody ever? Did you find out of how Uncle Kevin's mom is doing there, Kyle? I know, like on a serious, it's.
I would assume she's doing better since he's showing up to stuff again.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, he had that time off to, I guess, take care of his mom and do some stuff. But it was good to see him back. I love his. I mean, he's always a spark when he comes back to the ring. Him and Randy came out. They cleared the two Tongans out, and then you knew what was going to happen next. We all kind of knew. You know, wait, there's two gone. Who's left? Jacob Fatu. So, where they go from here, again, I'm just excited to see Roman back on Friday and see exactly where we're heading here and what kind of group he's going to build. I've heard they're going to have maybe a few more. They've got a few more of the family members signed. It'll be interesting to see who sides with who. The Survivor Series match usually 5-on-5, huh?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see who we add and who we've got here. I don't know if they bring the Rock. If they bring the Rock in on this one,
is War Games 5-on-5? It's like because Survivor Series was traditional 5-on-5. Yeah, War Games is 5-on-5 too. Yeah, okay.
So you've got the Rock possibly, in this. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But I think that's where we're heading. We'll see what matches we get on the way. But man, that's going to be so awesome. I'm already pumped about that. So what do you guys think about this one?
Before I get started, let me acknowledge my tribal chief. Welcome back. And from the beginning, so Cody's entrance was incredible. I loved how they did that. Had him see Arn on the way. Got to see his dog for the final time on the road. Just looked awesome coming to the ring. And then we get to the match and really good. We knew it was gonna be a lot of smoke and mirrors, but they let them do their thing for a little bit. And I thought this was like the best we had seen Solo look. Solo looked, really good in this match, even before it got all crazy. The one thing I didn't like is it's a Bloodline Rules no DQ match, but it's not a Falls Count Anywhere match. They go outside. I don't like the ref following them around. You stay in the ring and wait till they come back to you. You don't need to, because it's not Falls Count Anywhere. You're not in, like, I don't like that part. It just, I don't know, it takes away from me. But I thought good. And then we start seeing everybody, and we knew we were getting Roman, but when and Fatu, the move that if he is injured or is injured, whatever, the move he did was, I mean, we've seen it from him already, but off the top through the table. I mean, he is just he does some incredible things. Where he comes out of nowhere into matches and just does some crazy things too. Like he's very athletic for his size, and he's a maniac. But the move he did, but I'd heard, I like, what y'all said too. I've seen that too about keeping him from Roman, but I've seen that it was originally before the injury, it was supposed to be Jay coming, and they were going to kind of do what Randy, Kevin, and the Tongas did, and kind of go fight through the crowd, and then they're all gone before Roman even comes out. But I think once either he was hurt and couldn't move, or may have an injury, even if he doesn't, that they're like, hey, he needs to stay there. Let's just have Roman. Let's just have him watch and let Roman come do his thing, and we'll keep Jay in the back. But whatever, I like, like we said, it's still a great story.
I feel like it's Jimmy. I feel like it's Jimmy first though, Brandon, because they took him out,
and we still haven't seen Jim. Yeah, and we still haven't seen. I don't know where Jimmy's not there. Jay was there, and they showed Jay with Roman in the back. So, we've seen we know Jay was there.
They attacked.
We haven't seen Jimmy yet.
Jimmy's going to be the one that's pissed, right? Because Jay chose to leave the look.
Yeah, and then we still, and you're talking about adding to it, Zilla Fatu. I don't know if y'all saw, he was in attendance. They showed him in the crowd, so we know he's there. It's just what side is he on? And so the story keeps going, and I like what they're doing with it. And we also, they also gave the nod, is like, hey, Cody's like, you helped me, but I also know, Roman, me and you we still have business. We have another match. You'll get your rematch at due time. I don't know if that's the Rumble or where, but they'll, we'll get that one more time too. So. But Roman's got some other business to take care of first, and that's bloodline business. So, and I see that, Billy. I'll say this. I'll stick on this. I don't want to see Heyman yet. I still think it's too soon for what they did to Heyman at that age and that guy. Like, if you want us to believe it, I mean, you already took away Gable getting shot from us and bringing him back the next week, but Heyman, like, for him, he should not be back this soon unless he's like in a wheelchair or something. I don't want to see him back right now.
You can see him with a neck brace and a wheelchair, him rolling out.
Okay, then I'm fine with that. But if he just walks out and starts with a microphone,
Heyman.
Yeah. But if he's walking out normal and like I'm not okay with that, I'll stick by it. I'd rather see him later down the line and with his beast incarnate. But so.
They're gonna slow play this. I think they'll kind of stagger. They got Roman. You don't want to throw too much out right now. You got Roman back. That's huge. Maybe they go a little bit. Then you bring back somebody else.
Well, you got the USA debut in about a month. So I mean that SmackDown's a good night to do something like you're gonna have someone come that night because you're going back to USA SmackDown. You got a new announce crew. Michael Cole's coming over. So you'll have something. I mean. So, but we may get something this Friday, but I think we'll definitely get something that night, that first Friday of September. So,
I thought the match was okay. For it to be a Bloodline Rules match, and then the first 15 minutes of the match be a normal wrestling match was kind of weird. Like, I thought we were going to see chairs, stairs, kendo sticks, tables, all sorts of stuff. Huh?
We saw some stairs and stuff.
Not at the start though. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like the first 15 minutes of it were just.
We saw before everybody came out. We saw pretty early. We saw that Cody got those stairs and then Solo speared them. That was pretty. I mean, they went outside in the first couple minutes and did some stuff on the table. But
you might as well just started 4-on-1 then, Kyle, at the very beginning. Just have all 4 Bloodline members out and just attack Cody.
That's what I liked. I thought this was the best I saw Solo. I still don't think he's great, but this was the most impressed I was with him. And yes, it's Bloodline Rules, but in like the wrestling aspect, and then throw it all together, I thought he was really impressive. I thought this was his best showing. So.
And I would have preferred that. I know it couldn't happen because it was Bloodline Rules, but I would have preferred that Cody beat Solo on his own, because now I know Roman didn't do it because of this, but now it looks like Roman helped Cody win, which is not what Roman intended to do. Roman came back to get his revenge on Solo and show Solo who the original tribal chief is. Like, I get that, but it also aided in Cody, and I think that makes Cody look weak. And now what you've done, what I would have liked to seen is Roman come out after the match. That way Cody gets his win, and that's separate from Roman coming back, because Roman coming back has now overshadowed Cody's playing second fiddle now, and he's your world champion. And Roman's back, and now Cody is now a down 11. Now Roman is the biggest babyface when Cody's been the biggest babyface.
Kyle, what do you think about Billy's comment there?
It was not the only reason this match was in the main event is because Roman was coming back. This match honestly had no business being on the card. Like, I like Solo as an enforcer. I don't like Solo as a main guy. And in the ring,
believable?
He's believable as an enforcer, not as a full-time, all-the-time wrestler.
The only way he wins is if his little cronies help him, right? I mean, has he ever won a match by himself?
I don't know. But, I mean, I think that I would have preferred to see Roman after the match and not overshadow Cody in this moment. But, I mean, the match was what it was. The crowd was pretty much dead for the match too, because I think everybody exactly what Billy just said. The match was only because Roman was coming back. Everybody was just waiting on Roman coming back. It's almost how it felt. Like, once you saw the Tongans come out, you're like, okay, all right, bet. Okay, Roman's coming soon.
That's when you set up, yeah.
That's when everybody perked up. And so I think it's unfair to Cody and to Solo, truthfully, to put them in a position to kind of be the undercard on the main event, if that makes any sense. Like, I know there was no other way to do it. You had to do it how you had to do it. But I think I would have liked to see Jimmy come out. I think Jimmy coming out and maybe a surprise attack on Fatu while Fatu's hurt on the ground to take him out, and then Cody beats Solo, and then Roman comes out after that, then that brings Jimmy back. But I think we see Jimmy. We got to see Jimmy soon, right? I mean, he's been gone. We got to see him soon. If it's not this Friday, I don't know when we'll see him.
Yeah, it's got to be. I don't know if it's this Friday, but it's got to be pretty soon. I don't know if you're already going to have the first time Roman comes out, and we'll see what he.
I don't think
say.
Roman can't come back alone, right? Because all four of them are just going to attack him.
But he's Roman Reigns.
Well,
he's the OTC. He's the OTC, Kyle.
Well, and if Fatu's hurt, then Fatu can't be involved. So then it's a 3-on-1. And if you take Pirate Tonga away, which he does nothing, then it's just a 2-on-1 handicap, and Roman can handle that.
Low blow. Oh, I missed. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Pitiful.
Oh, man. No, and we can roll this into our Raw discussion now. There's a couple things that stick out on Raw to me. Wyatt Six debut, man. I like the presentation. I like what they're doing with them right now. I think, we'll see if they can continue this momentum, but they basically have taken Bray Wyatt's intro music, the whole kind of mystique. But I like that they took the mask off. They introduced us to the character, so we're not having a pig and a fox and all these like characters fighting. When they explain to us why, what in the past has caused them to hurt, and now they're included. I like the way they've done that, kind of staggered and told some stories. And now you've got some guys get some second chances. Dexter Lumis looked good in this match to me. I liked him. He's always kind of that weird. He stared people down. He had the thing with Indy Hartwell for a while in NXT. Now he's got those dreads, and he just looks like a bad dude. I wouldn't want to mess with him. But so I like this presentation. I thought it was really cool. You've got Chad Gable and his new group. Was it American Made? I'm not sure. I'm a fan of the name. America. Or what is that? Is that a song? Is that the Hulk Hogan song?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, sure, whatever. They're gonna let them keep the American Alpha, but I don't know that they is. Are you selling Otis, Tozawa, and Maxine? Is they get to keep the American Alpha? Are they really going to come out to America? I mean, that was kind of Chad Gable's deal. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on that, but I do like where this feud's going. We'll see how long that they kind of play around with Gable and his group. Gable's done a great job with that. He is so like he wants these to take these guys out so bad. He was scared of them at first, and I mean they shot him. I guess I'd be scared too. But I like this. I like this little thing they've got going. I'm hoping, and so far they've done a good job that they can keep the Wyatt 6 thing going because I think this is one of those that definitely is a Netflix thing. Like they could do some little bit more, intense stuff with this once they move over to Netflix.
I'm losing over here reading Billy's comments. He's talking about James Ellsworth and Timu made instead of Timu Bloodline. He's calling him Timu made. But when the Wyatt 6 came out originally, we were kind of way back, and then when they first introduced him and showed him, we were like, hey, do we want to see him in a match, or what would that look like, or when, and how, and we were unsure about it. I know at least I was, but I really liked it on Monday night. I liked how they did it. I was worried. And we still have a lot of questions there, and I'm looking to see how it progresses because these things they sometimes start out hot and fizzle out. And we thought that might happen with the Judgment Day, and it didn't. We thought that might happen with the Bloodline, it didn't. So where can they go with this Wyatt 6, and can they keep it going for longevity or as long as they want to keep it interesting? But I really liked what I saw on Monday night. You talked about Texter. We've seen him in TNA as Samuel, NXT as Dexter, and then he's always had that, like you said, that creepy vibe and move set from him. And he did some things that I didn't know he could do. I've never seen him do those things. And like you said, with the dreads, it makes him look like a badass. And but he's athletic. He looked great. And I thought, Joe Gacy did, it worked. And then after the match, the presentation there, I really liked that with the lantern and Uncle Howdy and Nikki Cross doing her thing. I like where this is going. It's got to keep going and keep us interested in where does it go from here. And like you said, how long do they keep with American Made and keep going with Gable and them? Because after a while that'll run its course. Where do they go next? And but I really liked it on Monday night. I liked what they've done so far with it.
I thought what they did Monday and what they've done. I thought what they did Monday was perfect. I think this whole time, what I would have wanted to see more is a little more in those VHS tapes. The first couple VHS tapes were great when we were talking to Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, and learning about him. Even the one about Rowan was good. But then you had the one on Nikki Cross, which was just her screaming, which said nothing. And she has still done nothing. She's just been the crazy witch that's out there. And then they had the one with Loomis where he said run, I think, were the only words that he said. It was mostly Uncle Howdy talking. And then they aired the one with Gacy on Friday, I think, or last Monday. And it was just like a little 30-second, 40-second little vignette. So they got weaker and weaker as they went. So it was worrying me a little bit. But I think last night or Monday night, they presented them perfectly. They gave them Bray's theme music, Shatter, instead of just that one piano key that they've been doing. They actually played the entire theme song. Uncle Howdy sitting there in a rocking chair watching the match, like call back to Bray. I thought it was great. And I really appreciated that they got in the ring without their mask off and that there wasn't no supernatural crap. There wasn't red lighting. There wasn't a bunch of smoke that had to fill the ring. Like They let them get out there and wrestle. Dexter Lumis can go in the ring. Joe Gacy can go in the ring. Rowan is a big son of a gun. Like he's believable. Like I like what they did on Monday. They made these mistakes with Bray when he was the Fiend, making him wrestle in red lighting and doing all this other stuff.
Was the Mountain Dew? What's that Mountain Dew match they did? Was it
my
Black
gosh, pitch black match? That sucked. I was there live. You couldn't see anything going on. Like it was terrible. Anyway, I think I love what they're doing with the group. I love what they're doing with the group, and I just think that. And yes, Billy, I see your comment. I understand, but why are them if they weren't close to Bray? Then why are they in the group? Explain to me why they're there. And I think that's what those VHS. And maybe we'll get it down the road, but I think that's kind of what they did with Bo and with Rowan. Is they explained why they're in the group. And I understand we got the Uncle Howdy voiceover of, oh, they didn't want you and you were tossed away. Well, I want to hear that from them, though. Like, I want to hear why are they in the group?
I think that's why they're going after the family type deal, because they're those that were abandoned or exiled in their little group or whatever group they were in. I think that's where they're trying to go, or I feel like that's
right. But I would have wanted to hear that in that VHS instead of a cryptic message from Uncle Howdy. Like, I would rather hear them say,
maybe we hadn't got there yet, Kyle. Maybe they're just trying to teasing it. They're trying to long play a little bit.
Maybe so. But what we've got so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to see the Wyatt Six. I pop every time I hear that little piano and the lights start going. I pop every time. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it.
I do like the music. I like you, Kyle. I'm glad they added the Bray's music to it. I like the way they start with the piano and then they went to that. I think it kind of adds to that, kind of bringing Bray back at some point, like as far as like it's kind of remembering him and that music, how popular it was when they used it. I think it works, and it kind of gives them some credibility too. That, oh, this is Bray's music. You kind of get that familiarity of it too. So I liked it. I think it did add a lot. Even just that, and the fact that, like I said earlier, the mask thing. I was glad they didn't wrestle in the mask. I mean, we're gonna have a fox and a pig and a whatever else in the ring wrestling. I mean, that was part of the reason why. Again, like you said it too, that it wasn't believable. Like the John Cena match, where it was all like staged. Like, I wasn't a fan of that. Like, was it really believable they can just disappear and then come? I mean, I'm glad they're humanizing them. I think that's the word I want to use. They're humanizing them, but they're still selling them as being monsters and being, and their faces. But after people right now that have not nice to others is what it looks like to me. I don't know how it tells to say it, but like, so Chad Gable was abusing his group. That's who we went after first. So I think
stop the bullies.
Yeah, they're going after people that have been kind of like, that's how they were treated. They were treated badly. Now they're going to try to take out those that have been treated the same way, or the people that did that.
And it was interesting to hear Cole on commentary Monday, because it's almost like they are playing Bray's characters, Mercy the Buzzard, Huskus the Pig. And when they're in the ring, Cole was saying Dexter Lumis, who, I don't know the exact wording, but he said something to the effect of, who portrays himself as Mercy the Buzzard, or who believes he's Mercy the Buzzard. And they said the same thing. Joe Gacy, who thinks he's Huskus the Pig. So it's almost like they're split personalities. Like they're one way, like Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy. Bo is one person, Uncle Howdy's another person. Kind of like Dexter Lumis is one person, Mercy the Buzzard's another person. So I think this is a deep onion. I think there are so many layers to this that we still have to get to. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but A+ from what they've done so far.
Well, I think I've got more confidence in them telling it now than I would have several years ago. With the job they've done, long-term storytelling with the other, like Brandon said, with the Judgment Day, with the Bloodline, they've been able to keep those things fresh. And there's so many layers in this. And the time they took to do this, I'm sure they've planned out quite a bit, because they, this was going to happen for a while, but I'm sure, Bo Dallas had to deal with with his brother's death and mourn and all that. And this is more of it's probably a tribute to him as much as anything else. So it's important to him. So they've probably planned it out pretty detailed. So I mean, like I said, so far I'm hooked. My kids are hooked. Every time that piano hits, they're like, they're here. I mean, they're into it. So I'm excited to see where this whole thing goes.
And I also like their night where that they did the little vignette was showing Bray and Brody, Luke Harper, Brody Lee. I like that vignette showing like the Wright family. I thought that was really cool because like sometimes you don't get stuff like that, and especially with when Brody left and everything, you never know how they would things. They're very WWE is very selective in things they do like that. So I really like how they tied that in, and thought it made the moment even more special.
I wonder if they ever go after Strowman for not coming back to the family.
Well, no, yeah, that was kind of my next thought after because I think wasn't he one of the ones they kind of went after that opening night? So would he be next after Gable? Yeah. I mean, I think.
Yeah, I don't know where he's been lately, but maybe they shot him too, and he's.
Yeah, and I like what Billy said because I don't think Alexa's joining them at all, but I do. I mean, I would be okay with like he said playing something with her and Nikki because they have a long history. Not only did Alexa have a history with Bray, but she had a history with Nikki. So I'd be okay with that. That's their first female
Nikki AS. Nikki ASH.
When if she comes back.
Oh, Nikki ASH back in the day. So speaking of Braun Strowman and him being big, what about Big Bronson Reed, guys? He killed Seth Rollins on Raw, guys. I mean, Seth was literally like choking up blood. I mean, goodness gracious. He said he was going to make an impact, and I think he did. It's another one of those things. I think, Kyle, if your dad would have been watching, he'd have been like, why don't they just move Seth Rollins out of the ring?
He was. Trust me, those were the exact words. He said, why don't they just roll him out of the way? I'm like, well, Dad, he's hurt. They can't move him. He goes, yes, they can. Just pull him out of the ring. And then when he started coughing up blood, I said, look, Dad, internal injuries. He said, oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, geez, but I mean, thank goodness. Give me more Big Bronson Reed after that. I mean, if that's all it took him to go just attack Seth Rollins like that, where has this been? I'm just glad he's finally getting something because, this is probably Seth Rollins. I don't know. He surely he's got to be out. Internal injuries. He's got to be out for a couple of weeks, right? I mean, I don't know. You get shot, you can come back the next week, so maybe not. But needless to say, I'm looking forward to this match because Seth is going to be pissed. And I kind of had not forgotten, but I was into the Drew McIntyre thing, and that Kyle was not. I think they do get back to that, but yeah, Bronson Reed right now is probably where Seth's going. I would think at Berlin if he's able to return at that point. But I'm interested because he can do some crazy moves for being that big. They've got some bigger guys that can get up on the ropes and do some things. Obviously, he can do that frog splash pretty well. I wouldn't want to be under it.
Yeah, I like what Billy said. I remember that now that they were supposed to have a match, last year, and it didn't happen. But I didn't even think about that the other night. But yeah, it makes sense now. But they made Bronson. Bronson Reed was made the other night. He's been around, and we've talked about him on the show in passing. Some people on the show have made fun of him, and Kyle's always kind of stood firm. And hey, he liked Bronson Reed, but he was made the other night, and the crowd was popping big time for it. Like they love Seth, they love singing his music, but they were like one more time, and they were into it, and it was Bronson Reed. We've got to see where it goes, but that could be the moment we said Bronson Reed was born on Monday night. Hopefully,
and Billy makes a good point.
Yeah.
If he fought through a broken back and he was able to wrestle WrestleMania with a busted knee, what's a little ribs and coughing up blood? Yeah,
we need to get Billy to sub in when Diggs doesn't show up.
Yeah,
well,
Billy.
Speaking of Diggs, we need Diggs on this show because Diggs is the biggest hater of Big Bronson, the biggest Big Bronson Reed hater of all time, and I have no doubt that Diggs will find something negative to say about this. Oh, 6 tsunamis was just too much. It wasn't believable.
It wasn't
should have thrown him out of the
believable.
ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Diggs will find some way to crap on this moment. But I am so happy. I'm not even going to call him Big Bronson Reed. I know him as Bronson. He's Action Bronson, okay? Bronson Reed was phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of Bronson Reed. It's about dang time he gets his flowers. So I'm excited. And I'll go a step further. I think that you should do. I think Bronson and Seth. I don't think Seth comes back next week, but I do think we get like a video of Seth talking to Bronson or something from maybe a hospital bed or from his house.
Bronson
like
Reed. No, here it is, Kyle. He goes to the hospital and he attacks him at a hospital. He's still in the hospital.
That'd be great too.
And Bronson Reed just shows up and just starts throwing him around the hospital.
That'd be great too. But I think he calls him out. I think we get this match at I think we get this match at Berlin. And I think you give Bronson Reed the win at Berlin over Seth. I think you give Bronson the win, and then Seth is bulletproof. There's nothing you could do to Seth to make him less than. I mean, he's a crowd favorite, and they're chanting one more time to get him Tsunami, and they'll be singing his song next time he comes out. Like Seth is untouchable. Like he's fine. This is a big moment for Bronson Reed, no pun intended. You can take him to Berlin, give him a win over Seth, who's a big name in the company, no pun again, and then he comes back and he has some momentum. You can't do this and then do nothing with Bronson Reed and have him off the show.
What about this match that he's booking this match? Reed Lesnar, Tsunami versus.
I'm sure we'll see it at some point.
Y'all really think that Lesnar returns at some point?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Triple H is. I mean, he's already said it. I mean, yeah.
Okay. I hadn't heard that. So.
Yeah. He's brought it up a couple times on those after PLE press conferences, and
Sign me up for that match.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a match. I want to see him try to F5 Bronson Reed. Whew.
No try, he'll do it.
He will. I just want to see it.
In Suplex City too.
This was the show to make a name for yourself. Another appearance by someone that hasn't been on in a while. Odyssey Jones joining the New Day, maybe.
I mean, he hadn't been on, since he got drafted. He hadn't. That was his first. That was his debut.
So they've kind of teased the split between the New Day here recently. Had the Final Testament and stuff, and now you bring in Odyssey Jones, and you would think they would be happy for the help, but only half of the New Day is happy. Xavier Woods is kind of not really liking it very much. Brandon, what do you think about this appearance and where they're thinking about going with this?
I mean, I liked what I seen from Odyssey Jones, and I had a few friends text me that they're watching live too, and they're like, "Who NXT?" So they didn't know who Odyssey Jones was because he did get drafted, but he hasn't shown up yet. And this was perfect time, because I don't know if we'll ever see Big E in the ring again. And he's great. Yeah, he's great on the pre-shows on PLEs, but we would love to see him again. It didn't work. It probably not going to work, but we'll see. But I like what they did with Odyssey Jones, and they've been, because there's a whole Final Testament thing. I don't know. I've always been intrigued by Karrion Kross, but I want him as a singles guy. But
I don't know if they just haven't made that mark where I'm like, right. I'm interested really.
But I've wanted a New Day breakup for a long time, and I don't know how I want it. I don't know if this is the way I want it, but I would love to see.
What about this? What about booking this, Brandon? We get some kind of triple threat. You get the twins versus and Cross versus the New Day, and Xavier Woods gets tired of it.
6-man tag, yeah.
6-man tag, and then he turns on him and joins New Testament.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. If he turns, I don't want him to join it. I want him to be his own. I want him to go on his own. That's all what I've always wanted. Even though they were always grouped, Kofi had his singles run, Big E had his singles run. Xavier's never gotten that, and I'd like to see a Xavier Woods singles run. I don't want him to join another group, but yeah, I mean, it looks like that might be the way I want I want to see Xavier and Kofi at Mania in a one-on-one match. So.
Yeah. Okay. Kyle, what do you think about Odyssey Jones popping up?
Fun fact: he was drafted 2 years ago to Raw. He was out for a year or about a year with a torn patellar tendon, so he's just now kind of getting back into things. I don't know if he's been on NXT. I haven't watched NXT.
He
but
hasn't. No.
Okay,
Dr.
so yeah, he's
Dr.
just now
K.
coming
We
back.
got Dr. KO here. All right, here we go.
Listen, man, Brandon ain't the only one with the dirt sheets. Okay, I got some dirt sheets myself. But no, I think I like the addition. He is he's a Walmart brand Big E. And that may be a little disrespectful, and I apologize to Odyssey for that. But
man,
he may be the Costco version.
Hold up, wait, hold up. I got Odyssey Jones on the line. He's got a beef with you, Kyle. I'm sorry.
No, thank you. No, I apologize, Odyssey. But he can do that Big E role like that, and I think that's what New Day has been missing. I'm with Billy. He calls it Meh Day. I'm kind of over it, and I'm with you too, Brandon. I'm kind of over it. I think something new is what would be welcome, and I think Xavier. But I'm also with you. I don't think Xavier leaving New Day to join Final Testament is the answer. I don't think anything can save Final Testament right now. I like Karrion Kross, but AOP I'm not interested in. James, what's his name? Paul Ellering hadn't said but maybe 2 words on and Scarlett looks great, but I mean, what does she add? This whole group is just kind of. And it seems like everything they try to do with Karrion Kross is just a miss. And he's not the most charismatic guy, but he's good on the microphone. He could talk. He could go in the ring. There's something off with Karrion.
They need something to jump some life into him, like something.
Well,
I don't know what it is.
It's not going to be Xavier Woods. It's not going to be Xavier
No,
Woods.
it's not. I was just thinking about where they're going with the booking just because I'm trying to figure out where they would go with it.
They're definitely setting up. They're definitely setting up a split.
I think it's 6-man tag, and maybe he breaks off and goes somewhere else. But
I could see. I don't think he breaks off and joins Final Testament. I think he just walks away from Kofi and Odyssey and just does his own. I don't think there's an actual turn. I don't think he turns heel necessarily. I don't think he turns on Kofi. I think maybe he just kind of gets tired of it and walks away. Maybe he does turn, but I think it's more of a walk away, not a turn.
He's the Dollar General version. Thanks for joining us tonight, Bill. You're giving us some good laughs here. We enjoy that.
Odyssey Jones, if you see this, it was not me. That was Billy. I did say the Walmart brand. I apologize for that.
How much of a step up is Walmart over Dollar General these days?
I'm not involved in this conversation. Matter of fact,
he's off here. I don't know. I really wish that they've gotten so good with getting these groups and getting them hot. They just seems like the New Testament or the Final Testament. Sorry, is kind of the one group they've had trouble. They've tried different things and it just hasn't worked. And I feel like that, man, AOP in NXT they were so good. And maybe they're the ones that need to break off from Karrion Kross and make a tag team run because those guys can go in the ring. But they haven't really done anything with them except be Thug.
What is it? Well, I mean, because you just said it. AOP's good. Was good on NXT. They get paired with Karrion Kross, and it's like where all dreams go to die. So, what is it with Karrion Kross? Because they have tried a lot with Karrion Kross, and it all on NXT Karrion Kross. The presentation with Scarlett coming out and them doing the whole ritual was phenomenal. It was great. And then when they got called up to Raw, Vince made him Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and put a mask on him. And now he's been floundering ever since. So I don't know what else to do with Karrion Kross. But I have negative interest in Karrion Kross. And I hate it.
Yeah. Well, and Ellering really made AOP too. He'd go out and be their mouthpiece and really added. But like you said, he doesn't go out and say anything really. They have their little sayings and that's it. I can't even tell you what they are because I don't really listen because I'm kind of like you. When they come out, I'm like, Why should I care about them? I just don't. I want to. I want to be interested, but I'm just not. I don't know. He said it doesn't have the it factor. Yeah.
Hey,
He has
he has
hot
Scarlet though, and let's not overlook that, Billy. He does have Scarlet. That's it, but he does have Scarlet.
That is true. All right, let's talk Judgment Day drama going on now, guys. We touched on it earlier. The beef I have with WWE right now is you're planning out this Judgment Day breakup. You know this probably the way they've been planning stuff, maybe at least month or so out. You know, you've got this plan. So if they're going to split, you have a new music for somebody. They can't all come out. If they're not in the group, they can't come out with Judgment Day music and lights and stuff. You got to have new stuff. You cannot. That's to me. That's just bad writing or bad planning to me. You've got to have new music. When the music hit, I thought that was Damian Priest's music, and then all the Judgment Day comes out to it, and that's been his music. Wasn't that his music originally, like tweaked to the Judgment? Then they tweak it, all their music to like fit that Judgment Day sound, right? Isn't that how they did it? They made it all purple, and they kind of tweaked it just a little on all their music. I mean, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. That's what I'm thinking.
No, they did because they took Damien's is that same type, but it's all rise.
But they made his when he came out. It was still purple, and it was still like the Judgment Day look. Like and then Rhea's was the same way. She came out, and she came out to purple, and hers was the same. Like, okay, so
this just happened 2 days ago. They haven't had time to change all the lighting and stuff.
But Kyle, they've had this plan. That's what I'm talking about. Like they've done such a good job of planning all this. You know they had to have had this planned. So you can't.
I don't think.
Or you can go back to their old music.
Their music. I don't think Judgment Day changes their music. I think they keep the other side by Alter Bridge because that's Judgment Day's music,
and that's fine. But the others need new music, or they need to go back to their old music without the Judgment Day colors and like that needs to change. Because to me, okay, you're confusing the viewer. Okay, did they break up, or they both have the same music? Like this is confusing. Like I understand it because I watch it enough. But if you turned it on and you saw somebody comes out with one music and then another person comes out with the same music and entrance, you think they're like buddies, right? I mean, you're on the same team. I don't know. It's just I didn't like that part. I did like the way they played out the stories on the pay-per-view. I'm interested to see, like I said earlier, of how I want to hear what they have to say, like how everything. I want to know a little more about how it went down. I hope they go back and say, like they come out and they're like, you know, we were planning this from the beginning. Look here, and the things that we seen, and like it make all this whole plan come. Like they show us the plan, and I hope there was like the big planning behind it, like we think. I hope they show us that, like this is what we were doing. So and so was really playing this, and then they show some extra footage of somebody doing something, and that's what I hope for. We get, and I think, like we talked about earlier, I think the mixed tag is coming, and I'm excited for it. I'm interested to see what Liv has to say, how much she was involved in all this the whole time. But it's really like the same way Rhea injected life in the Judgment Day. I think Liv is going to re-inject some new life because it's just going to tell a new story with her now versus Rhea. So, and then you've got, of course, Finn's a great worker. He's a great heel, and I think this will give the Judgment Day some new life because he's going to be kind of now running things. So it's been Damian and Rhea have really been the leaders. I mean, kind of, and I think that's what their undoing was when they got their titles. You know, they kind of started bossing around. Rhea did, then she lost hers and she was gone off TV. And then, you know, Damian kind of stepped in and he was kind of telling folks what to do. He wouldn't let Carlito in. He this and that, you know, and that's what undid him. So I think they've done a great job of telling the story. But, man, they've got so much more they can tell, guys. This is going to be good.
I don't believe this new Judgment Day. Like, the only believable person in there is Finn Balor. Like, I don't believe in Dominic, Dirty Dom. I don't believe in Liv. I don't believe in JD McNuggets, and I definitely don't believe in Carlito. Like,
Hey,
I don't.
do you believe in Joe Hendry?
I do believe in Joe Hendry for sure,
Okay.
but
Okay.
but to me, like, Judgment Day in my mind lost a lot of credibility when you lose Rhea and Damian. Like, Rhea and Damian kind of embodied Judgment Day. Like you said, they're the original members. Like, they embodied Judgment Day. And maybe that's what I'm getting hung up on is I agree with Billy completely there. Why is Carlito still around? Who knows? Because they're still giving him a paycheck and he can
That's
still
not cool.
he's comedic relief at this point, which is kind of sad to see where Carlito's fallen to. But at any rate, I just
Hey,
with
Kyle.
Rhea and them.
Hey, Kyle. Joe Hendry. He appeared.
I can't hear anything.
Kyle jinxed Brett's internet.
I can't hear anything. But
He jinxed his internet. Oh, we got a Christian drop in.
Did y'all?
Carlito's a lost
Christian's
cause.
here? Did y'all lose me?
No, we just can't hear whatever music you're trying to play.
Oh, you couldn't hear that? Oh,
No, not at all.
man. Okay, sorry.
You froze big time.
Oh,
And
I?
you did
Okay.
freeze. Yes, maybe you're trying to do too much over there. But I just don't believe this new Judgment Day. Like, I don't, and I think Billy's probably right. I think some new rebranding is coming next week because they got to get all new merch and get rid of the Rhea and Damian stuff on Judgment Day. I think Rhea goes back to her old, not really theme because it's a similar theme, but the brutality with the chains and the black and white. I think she goes back to that. I think Damian goes back to an older theme. I think it doesn't make sense. I don't have an explanation on why they didn't do it on Monday, but I think they just didn't rebrand everything on Monday. In the following week, we get new everything from those people. But I don't know why they didn't do it on Monday. I have no answer for that. Everybody there?
Brett's still trying. It's not working.
Do y'all not hear me?
We hear you.
I hear you now. Yes, I hear you now.
Oh, okay. That's weird. Okay. I don't know what happened. My mixer froze earlier, so there's no telling what it's doing. But no, this has got a lot of turns that can go on this one. Those are kind of the hot things that I kind of recall for all that I wanted to point out. Is there anything that you guys want to add, like as far as that you saw in Raw that we, would want to talk about?
I think we touched on it. I'm just looking forward to see what they do on SmackDown because like we said, we got stuff going on there with LA Knight, Bloodline, and some more. So, and then and also was for Cody. So
Yeah, there's a lot of intrigue on SmackDown. So I'm excited about what they've got coming there. But man, what a SummerSlam, guys! This was one for the books. So they're building momentum right now, and we kind of talked about in the past.
Billy, we don't allow Joe Hendry slander in this chat. All right, there is no Joe Hendry slander allowed in this chat.
Oh no, Billy, come on, that'll get you suspended. We believe here. We believe in Joe Hendry. Okay. I'm looking forward to it, but I think some of the things that we've complained about, like, you get the SummerSlam to Mania build, but then they've kind of like they just don't care about the rest of the year sometimes. They, until they get closer to SummerSlam, they've kept things hot, and they've been, even without they've gone without Roman this whole time since Mania, and they're able to have some things going. Of course, when he comes back, it's going to boom again. But we've had some interesting things to talk about, even in kind of the off season, I'd say for WWE. That's when they're kind of like they have their usually not as big storylines, not as much as going on, but they've got a lot of things going on, and I think they've done a really good job. I hope they can keep it up. I mean, Triple H so far he's done a great job. I know he's got some other people helping him, but since they've kind of changed over with Endeavor, I think we mentioned a lot of the graphics, the backstage camera angles, the way they follow him to the ring, a lot of that stuff. It just makes the product look fresh to me. Like it's just something new and it's fresh and it's, it's not stale like we were getting before the pre-Triple H era. Everything was the same, and it was just, one person was making all the decisions, and it was some of the stuff, even if it was bad, it was shoved down our throats every week. And now I look forward to watching both SmackDown and Raw every week. And now I'm even getting where I'm watching NXT a little more, trying to keep up with NXT. So WWE is just what I look forward to watching. Now, if I want to go see a good match, I go over and watch Will Ospreay. That guy's insane. And there's some other guys over there that can wrestle. But the match level is still, you've got some guys at AEW that just put on incredible matches. I'm hoping they free some of that stuff up. When we go to Netflix, more violence on Netflix.
More violence on Netflix? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, more like blood, more violence, more like.
I would hope so, but I also don't want it to be like AEW where there's blood every week either. I think if a match or a feud warrants it, then yes, we need to see some blood. Like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre should absolutely have blood. Damian and Finn absolutely have blood. Liv and Rhea
like bad
probably
blood?
even have some blood. Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to see buckets of blood every week like we do in AEW. I think at that point you get desensitized to it and it doesn't mean as much.
Like
so
John
if they do it
Moxley's not made
sparingly,
every match.
John Moxley, you can guarantee, as sure as the sun will rise in the east, Moxley will bleed.
Yeah. Let's look. What's the next event? We have All In coming up. Is that the next big show?
Got that and Bash in Berlin back.
And then All Out's right behind it. So we got 3 straight weekends of pay-per-views there. So you got August 25th, then you've got August 31st, and September 7th.
Here's the problem with that, is that gets into football season. And those are prime football days. So decisions will have to be made.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, those are all probably going to be pretty good cards. I mean, I don't know about the Bash in the Berlin. We'll see what they build to that. I mean, All In, all that I still, they separate them a little bit more. I think they're not back-to-back weeks like they were.
They added a week. They added a week in there.
But I still think it's too close. Just my opinion.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, you got to at least give them a month. I mean, to get some bills, it's hard to, because you're going to have 10 matches on each card, probably, and that we care about really.
All ends before football gets started, or like All Out's right there. That's going to be. Is that going to be NFL opening weekend or the weekend?
Yeah, that's opening weekend. The 7th. That's opening weekend for NFL, isn't it?
Well, we're gonna, since we've limited the shows on for high school football, it'll give us some time to do these wrestling shows. So I'm excited about this year to kind of keep that going, and hopefully we'll be able to do our Wednesdays, our review and preview of some of these. So we'll have probably some combined ones there for a while, be a combo. We'll see what I want, and I'm throwing this match gauntlet out. I want a Diggs versus Hubbard back and forth here sometime in the next couple of shows. I want it. I want to get my popcorn out, Kyle, and I talked to Jeremy about earlier. I mean, to Brandon earlier about it. We got to see that, right?
We just got to get Jeremy. He's got to have a fan in the chat because we got Billy's got Diggs has Billy, so Jeremy's got to get him some support in the. He's got to have some support in the chat that night.
And then we're gonna have Swaggy.
I'm gonna stay out of
it. Swaggy Boss to referee.
Yeah, we're just gonna eat our popcorn.
The special guest referee is Swaggy. Yes, for sure. Oh man, that would be awesome. We could probably get some sponsorship. You know what we really need to do is we can even go, you know what? We'll go to Malakoff, the East Texas city of Malakoff, and we'll set up in downtown Malakoff and have a table with just Diggs on one side and Coach Hubbard on the other. And it could be like a contract signing almost.
I was thinking barbed wire. I was thinking of barbed wire and have it lit on fire. Burn the table. Barbed wire.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is just the contract signing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For the match, we'll have tacks in the shoes. We'll have gasoline. Somebody will get lit on fire. It'll be great.
I like it. Let's book that. Let's book the show now. Oh man, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Well, guys, I've enjoyed it. Probably be back here. I guess the next one we talked about was the 25th. So here we can preview All In. I've got to get caught up on my AEW here so I can.
I'm a couple weeks behind.
Yeah, I've been so involved in getting WWE in, and then the Olympics has been on, so I've been trying to catch up on as much Olympics as I can, and hopefully we can get some other guys. We get the OG crew tonight, the original crew. It's good to kind of be here. We can talk about the other guys that are not here, so they can't defend themselves.
Between here and at events, I've seen Kyle a lot lately. So
there it is. See, yeah. Brandon. Okay, I think I figured it out, Brandon. When you move your arm in front, it cuts off your microphone.
Yeah, it's weird, but I get
right now you're good.
Okay, right so we need to start. We need to start in the chat. We need to start a GoFundMe for Brandon a microphone for his setup. So we need to get we got to hook our dirt sheet man up. We got to get him a mic so he can. I struggle with that too, Brandon. When we first started doing this, I started with I guess just the mic on the computer. Then I moved to like this other mic, and I was like, forget it. I want to at least sound good. If I'm going to be fuzzy on the screen, I can't control my internet, but at least I can control my sound. I think you guys, except for a while ago, I think you guys can hear me pretty good. So we've got to get Brandon.
It's getting progressively worse, Brett. If I'm being honest with you, you're cutting out a lot worse now. We should probably wrap this up.
It's probably my wife's home, so she's probably up there doing something for school online. So
Okay, don't let her see this.
Yeah, she won't be watching. She won't be watching. I could promise you that. But that's gonna do it for tonight's episode 30 of Off the Ropes, Phyllis. We'll be back here in a few weeks to talk All In. For Dirt Sheet Brandon, KO Kyle Owens, I'm Brett Swinney. Signing off. LA Knight with a championship. Yeah. And the Tribal Chief returned. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Twitter accounts. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time right here on Off the Ropes.